Okay, and we're back. Does this look familiar to anybody? Yep, this is where I left off on the build. It's currently January 11th, and I think the last time I worked on this truck was the end of July, possibly the beginning of August. I don't even remember. And this is pretty much where it's been at the whole time because I have not done any work on this rig since then. Been living in here, and I'm going to show you how I've been living in here because it hasn't exactly been pleasant. This area is really nice. Well, there's the rest of it. Everything you see there is just sitting there. Nothing is glued in place. And I've been trying to deal with that since August. And it's challenging, I will tell you that. None of my electric is hooked up, even though there's 400 amp hours of battery sitting right in there. None of my electric is hooked up, even though there's 800 watts solar coming in right there. But they're not connected. There are all the wires I still haven't done. This is all the wood to finish the kitchen cabinets and to cover the bathroom slider. This has been working out well. This is the dinette, in case anybody forgot. There will eventually be a table here and cushions. That's storage for me right now. Literally just filled with lots of wood and lots of parts and some of the stuff I need to live with. But this is basically how I'm living. Refrigerator's not hooked up because it has to be able to slide out, and I can't put the slides on until this is done. So even though I have a refrigerator freezer, I can't use it at all. There we go. So that's the water tank right there. This is sitting on the batteries, and there's all the beautiful blue Victron components. Today would start the day that I am going to start building in here. Well, finishing this build. Oh, by the way, I'm in California. Check out these right off the tree. Orange juice every morning. Very cool. So I was going to get started on this as of today. One of the issues is I'm still trying to live in here. So there was another acquisition, because if you remember the last time I was building this out, I was living in a tent. And something happened. And it's right out there. Oh, you can't even see it. So let's go take a look. We're going to go this way. I'll surprise you. So there's the truck. Beautiful sunny California. Yes, as some of you know, I am selling it. And there it is. This is a 2025 7x14 all aluminum cargo trailer. I actually purchased that used. And the plan is that's going to be motorcycle storage and my shop. All the tools in here are coming into here. But wait, there's more. We'll come up in here, looking back. Same height as the truck, 7 feet. 7 feet wide, 7 feet tall, and 14 feet long from this point back to that point. Plus this has a V, so there's a couple extra feet right here on the floor that go forward. That motorcycle is going to sit right here. This is a ramp door, folds down, motorcycle pulls in, parks. There'll be tool storage on both sides. And then I'm going to spin you around. And right in that area, that's going to be a bunkhouse. That is going to be my new living space. Much smaller than the other one. This will have a twin bed and kitchen, bathroom, just like I'm supposed to have in there, but more like the van. So much smaller and fully functioning kitchen, the composting toilet, so that one I have to get rid of in there is coming in here, and there'll be a new one in the other unit. The refrigerator freezer combo. All that's going to be right in that area. Some of you might wonder, like, how do I plan that out? Because I don't use CAD. Anytime I've been involved with other people using CAD, there are tolerance issues. Often, and like every single time, there are major tolerance issues. You saw a couple of those right in there with the toilet and the microwave, air fryer, mattress, and there was tremendous amount more. That has happened to me every time I've had somebody use CAD. They make the tolerances so tight because you could draw it on a computer, and they're forgetting things like bolt heads and nuts and washers that all change your dimensions. And if those aren't all included in the CAD drawing, your drawing's screwed up. So once you start cutting pieces to fit those measurements, you no longer have the right tolerances you need. So how do I do it? Cardboard. Measuring tape. Blue tape. And I actually lay out everything. So that's what I'll be doing today. Measuring tape, blue tape, cardboard. I will start laying out the footprint for the bunkhouse, but that will be after I bring the motorcycle in and find out what my actual dimension is. Once that motorcycle is parked in here, what space do I have? Because that's what's going to happen, is that this bunkhouse in the front will come right to the front wheel on the motorcycle. So the motorcycle will fit right in here. I'll probably have about 6 inches to spare on that, just in case I want to replace the motorcycle in the future. That is one of the largest bikes. But that will be sitting in here. The floor will get marked out, and then everything else becomes bunkhouse and tool storage on both sides. Now, how do I know that my tool storage will work? Well, if we go back to 2005, I believe it is, I had a 7x14 trailer, just like this, without the cool side door. And that became my mobile shop at that point. That's how I came up with this idea. In that 7x14 trailer, not only did I have all my tools sitting here, there was a huge area in the middle that I could bring materials in and store all that for transport to the job. Then I had an entire workbench in the front here. I didn't have the V-nose, so it was just right in this area. But I had a workbench right here that I can actually work on. And then I had all shelves for additional parts and stuff that I had. Now, my tools were only right here, workbench right there, and this was the entire landscaping side. So this was all my landscaping tools on here, which I don't have now. So that is the new space. So why am I showing you this when we were just in the truck and I'm supposed to be starting the truck build? Well, I needed to get out of there to finish that. And my plan was just come in here temporarily. I can set up a table, run in some electric, and I could just be in here temporarily. And when I left here last night, going to get some crates and boxes to do just that, something happened. While I was out shopping and getting that material, I felt joy and inspiration on what I could possibly do in here. And I haven't felt that since I was doing the van build. I haven't felt that at all with this truck. It took over a year before I even had an idea of like how I wanted to do the inside. There was just absolutely no inspiration, and that should have clued me in, but I just ignored my instincts. In here last night, shopping for materials, it felt like the van build again. There was so much inspiration, so much joy, and in that moment I decided I'm not moving in here temporarily. I'm going to finish this space first. Once all this is done, I'll move out of there into here, and then I'll finish that truck. So the truck build going to be on hold again. I'm giving myself about 3 weeks to do this, but that's my plan. We are going to pause the truck build, and we are going to jump into the cargo trailer conversion, bunkhouse workshop. Thanks for watching.